Hello and welcome back to Glitchy University. In this video, I'll give you a walkthrough of the TikTok Ads Manager. I'm going to show you all of the buttons and the options you have when setting up an ad. I recommend that you follow along with this tutorial so you can get a good understanding of where to click and what to do. So first of all, this is the main homepage. You already know how to make a business account and ad account because you watched the previous videos. But just to recap, once you follow the previous guide and set up a business center, the only things you need to touch is the finance section to top up your business center and then your ad accounts, and then the ad account section if you want to create a new ad account. Now, it's very important to understand the difference between a business center and ad account. You can only run an ad on an ad account. The business center is simply where you can manage ad accounts and top up the balance of them so you can continue to run ads. Anyway, let's just start by topping up our ad account. If you click on finance, then payment management. Now, depending on whether you chose an automatic or manual account when setting up the business center, you will either see the option to add a card which will be automatically billed, or an option to top up the balance if you're using a manual account. Now, let's look at the ad accounts. On the left-hand sidebar, just click on Accounts, click on View for the ad account you want to view, and then click on Ads Manager. This will open a new window on ads.tiktok.com. Remember, to differentiate, this is ads.tiktok.com and we just came from business.tiktok.com. Once this loads, it will show your ad account dashboard. Now let's take a look at this top dashboard. First there's campaign, which we'll come back to later. Then there's tools, all sorts of very useful things, but we won't go into depth into that right now. And then there's also analytics. We can see comments, we can see how videos are performing, and do custom reports. Now over here, you can see the ads manager. We can change the day we want to view data from, but for now, we're just going to click create. Now we're going to create our campaign. I would highly recommend switching to full options because in my opinion, it's easier to set everything up and you'll have all the options available. Now let's take a look at the different campaign options. Starting off with reach. Reach is usually used for warming up the ad account. Traffic is usually used for warming up the ad account and then running and scaling ads for, let's say, sweepstakes offers or CPA offers. Video views are not really used in the affiliate marketing world, so it's not really relevant. Also, community interaction, again, not really used. And then we have lead gen, which is also widely used in the affiliate marketing space. Now, if you're a new beginner, I'd recommend using traffic, but I definitely recommend looking into lead gen down the line. And now let's also take a look at sales. If you plan to have a sales campaign, I highly recommend having a proper pixel setup and conversion postback. Make sure that's working for you and everything is properly set up. So anyway, that's a quick rundown of the campaigns. Now what we can do is, let's say, open or select a traffic campaign and click continue. Let's look at the different options we have on this page. Now on this screen, you pretty much always want to select website. It's going to be website by default, so keep it at that and don't change it to app. Now, when it comes to placements, make sure to select the placement manually and make sure to turn off these two. It's okay to leave on TikTok and TikTok search results, but that's down to you. And if you click advanced settings, I would also recommend turning this off, which is allow video download. And now we can scroll down. This is where you would add a location. So for example, if you want to run ads in the United States and Canada, then we would add the location here. Now, this is where you select the age group you want to target. It does depend on the offers. Some perform better with older demographics and some perform better with younger demographics. But on TikTok, you want to keep your targeting as broad as possible. So I'd recommend just selecting all these age groups. But it is really important to check the rules for the offer you're promoting because some will only allow you to advertise to certain age groups. Either way, I'd advise not selecting 13 to 17 as an age group, but the rest of the age groups are fine to use. Gender is self-explanatory and depends on the offer you run. Now for spending power, I'd recommend just leaving this as default. And now for the audience section, this is where you can select a custom audience or a lookalike audience, but again, you can leave it as default, it'll work just fine. And now for interest and behaviors. Of course, you can play around with this, but 95% of the time, TikTok is just as good when using broad targeting without any interest selected. Now you can scroll down again and the device really depends on the offer. For example, some CPA offers only allow you to send traffic from iOS devices, so you'd select iOS and vice versa. Now the daily budget just tells TikTok how much money you want to spend on this ad campaign. you don't necessarily need that budget in your account in order to use it. Say for example, if I only had $20 in my ad account, I could still set the budget to be well over $800. Now, if I don't have $800 in my ad account, of course it won't spend that full $800, but it will spend a lot faster compared to setting the budget to $20 a day, because of course TikTok will then spend a full day spending that money. Now for the date/schedule, it's highly recommended to set the start time back. If it's a fresh campaign and you're creating an ad group, I'd highly recommend doing this just by maybe 2 hours. This means your ad group gets instantly approved and starts spending. Otherwise, it might take 30 minutes minimum for the ad group to start spending if you don't set the time back 2 hours. Now you can scroll down once again, and the final setting on this page is the optimization goal. There's click and landing page view. It really depends on the offer and creative, and of course you can split test this, but at this stage it doesn't necessarily make much of a difference. And one more thing which is entirely optional is the target CPA. For example, if you only want to spend, let's say 10 cents per click, this is where you'd put in the bid. And now you can click continue to get to the ad level. Now, if you already know how to set up a Spark account and you've created one with creatives already on it, then you would enable use TikTok account to deliver Spark ads. Then you would click on this and you would paste the Spark code here and click search. If you don't plan to use a Spark code and you're going to run in-feed ads, then you're going to upload a creative here by clicking add videos or images, and then you can just upload it here. Now let's move on. This is the text. It's like the little caption on TikTok, and it's going to appear here. It depends on the offer, but it can be a call to action or just something in general. Also here at the top, you can set a custom identity. You're going to just click create new custom identity, and you can add a username and image. But if you're using a linked TikTok account with a Spark code, this will be filled out automatically. Now for the call to action, you can either select all and let TikTok decide which is going to be the best call to action button. But most of the time, something like learn more or download if it's a CPI offer, playing a game, or install now if it's a CPI offer again. And learn more is more for a lead gen offer, and apply now if it's a job offer. Of course, you can just use your common sense to work out which call to actions would work with your offer. Another really useful tool is the interactive add-ons. If you have a display card that you want to use, then this is where you would upload it. Using something like a display card can give you a way higher conversion rate, and it can also make the ads cheaper to run because more people actually click on the site. And now, of course, we have the URL. This is quite self-explanatory. It's where you would enter your landing page or the link going to your offer. Now, if you think it'd be useful, there's also the TikTok Instant page. This is basically a landing page within the TikTok app to basically pitch to the viewer what your offer is. You can also add a button to continue to your landing page or a redirect. This can be really useful for things like lead gen offers, e-commerce offers, job offers, and digital products. You definitely want to try out an instant page at some point because it could be the thing that either makes or breaks your campaign. And that wraps up the walkthrough of the ad account. Hopefully you understand what some of these buttons and features can actually do. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.